Going to the Hall of Fame, here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, six-time world champ, two-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. We're ready to do this thing, y'all. We ain't got a whole lot of time, but it's going to be a good time here inside the Hall of Fame where you get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams, man. Oh, yes. Bradley, how you doing, dog?
I'm good, BT. I'm good. I'm ready to talk about everything that's been going on in the world of pro wrestling. I know we got big shows coming up, and I know, though, it would be difficult to not start this show by talking about we lost one in the fraternity, though. One of the greatest of all time.
Yes, indeed, man. Terry Funk, man, Texas legend. Definitely did it his way. Passed away at 79 years old. Terry had been fighting for a while, man. He had been definitely fighting for quite some time, and we all hate to see our legends leave. But I tell you, I don't think anybody had a better life than Terry Funk, man. He had to have lived the grace of living on that Double Cross Ranch, being looked at as truly the hardcore legend. I know Mick Foley had been visiting Terry Funk lately, and what a true soldier as well. Terry Mick Foley, making sure that Terry Funk go on that ride, not by himself. That's the one thing, man. Friends, Terry Funk was a mentor to someone like Mick Foley. Mick Foley was there to the end for him. I can only ask for, someone to be there for me to the end. But definitely a legend, man. Legend. He will be missed, thoroughly missed.
Yeah, Terry Funk. When I was growing up, it was right when I first started watching wrestling, he was still in ECW, and he just came over to WWF for another run as Chainsaw Charlie. And the first match I remember seeing with him was, or first thing I remember seeing was when he and Mick Foley got shoved off the stage in the dumpster. I remember that, and then I remember his Royal Rumble appearance, and he also had a legendary promo that was on Shotgun Saturday Night where he called I think Vince McMahon a Yankee bastard, and then told Todd Pettengill that his mother was a whore. That's just a classic.
I remember that. No, man, Terry Funk along with the Von Erichs, they definitely put Texas wrestling on the map. You couldn't mention Texas wrestling without mentioning the Funk brothers and what they brought to this game. So definitely a lot of praise goes out to the Funks as well as Godspeed to Terry Funk on to that next life.
Yeah, absolutely. Terry Funk, hardcore legend, ECW champion.
Moonsault. Terry might have been the oldest guy to ever do the moonsault.
He did a great job at it too, man.
It was like a half moon.
It was like a half moonsault to the side.
What made Terry Funk want to do a moonsault? You know what I mean? That's crazy, right? What would make Terry Funk want to do a moonsault?
They said he was middle-aged and crazy. Oh my God.
What's that?
This is happening in real time here. I don't even know if I should read this on the show, but this just came out from Triple H. Just received a call from WWE Hall of Famer Mike Rotunda, who has informed us of the tragic news that WWE family member for life, Wyndham Rotunda, also known as Bray Wyatt, has unexpectedly passed away today. Our thoughts are with his family, and we ask everyone to respect their privacy at this time. That just went out right as we were going on air.
You saying Bray Wyatt's passed away?
That comes from Triple H's official Twitter account.
Oh my God, man.
That I didn't mean to drop that right there, but I saw it in the chat, and then I just confirmed it through Triple H's Twitter.
I mean, I don't even have words, man. I don't even have words for it. I don't even know what to say. I'm at a
we
loss.
know
Right now.
we know that he took time off for an undisclosed injury or illness, and I'm I'm speechless as well. This is not what we thought we were going to be talking about at this very moment. Should we take a break real quick, Book, and gather some thoughts here?
Break, regroup. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a sec.
Every time I come here, I just like have so much fun. I go home and we just can't stop talking about it till we come back.
The whole roster, top to bottom, star-studded guys.
We drove 12 hours from Atlanta just to come see it. One Missile for the World. It's one of the premier independent wrestling promotions across America.
It's a well-oiled machine, and there's a lot of good talent, which is very rare on in these shows to see so much talent on one show.
The organization that he has right now, I think and truly believe that it's one of the best organizations out there.
Brian Keith is 15 feet in the air! Brian Keith from up top!
A lot of fun, a lot of good athletes, good wrestlers, good family fun.
I've been around with a lot of the other independent groups, but this to me is a very, very top and first-class operation.
Reality of wrestling, one word, heart. And that's what Booker T is bringing to Houston. It's already special.
He's created opportunity, and he's creating great talent, as you guys well know.
Can't make it happen without these young people, without the fans coming out and supporting this thing. This is the flagship of Texas wrestling. This is the beginning of something big. It ain't gonna stop.
It's the best damn promotion in the country right now. The best independent promotion in the country. The best talent, the best coach and teacher that there ever was. And this is where it's at right here in the reality of wrestling. Believe that.
Oh my goodness! A Davidson driver!
It's very professional. It's a very good production. Booker's doing it right. I really enjoyed being a part of it.
Oh, what a rush!
The future of wrestling is reality of wrestling. That's the reality of the situation.
I'm Roddy Piper, and you're watching Reality of Wrestling. Be there, be square, babe.
Can you dig it, sucker?
You are listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Booker T, six-time world champ, along with Brad Gilmore, just finding out the sad news that Bray Wyatt, WWE wrestler friend, has passed away. And like I said, I really don't even know how to address this. I really don't have the words actually to put together right now, but I don't even know the situation or anything like that. I just know, like you said, Bray Wyatt stepped away to take some time off due to an injury. I thought we was expecting Bray Wyatt's return to the WWE very soon. This is the last thing that I would imagine, or have dreamt that we would wake up today and to this sad, tragic news that we've lost Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I'm sure with our entire chat in the wrestling world right now. I mean, unfortunately, we're having to react to this in real time before we have all the information and understanding. Obviously, Triple H tweeted to have respect for the family and the privacy. When he stepped away around WrestleMania time, again, it was reported it was some sort of injury, and then I know there was reports of maybe resting and healing back from an illness of some kind. I really don't even know where to go with this one, Book. But Bray Wyatt, as far as if we can talk from a wrestling standpoint, I don't even want to talk about his wrestling. That doesn't matter right now. It's his family that matters, and all of his fans across the world and the people who, as you just said, call him friend. This is a
I mean,
unexpected moment.
Every time we lose a soldier, man, we feel the same way every time. We all go through the same grief every single time. Bray Wyatt, he had kids, and that's the first thing you think about. Especially for me, I lost my dad when I was 10 months old. 10 months, something that I have lived with my whole life. And I feel that's what my heart goes. My heart goes to his kids, his wife, his family, and hopefully there again they could get through this. I know it's going to be hard. I know it's going to be hard, and something like this is something that perhaps you can never get through. Seriously.
Yeah, it is hard not to think about his children at this time. I think they had two or three, I believe. I'm not exactly sure, but a few kids. And like you said, I thought that we were prepping for his comeback. It felt like that's where we were. Again, he was scheduled back at WrestleMania to wrestle Bobby Lashley, and then that fell back. And we hadn't heard much since. I mean, we never knew the extent of anything that he was going through, and obviously, it was a private situation that was kept private. Again, we know if you're just listening to us and tuning in, Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda is his real name, unexpectedly passed away today. Triple H confirmed the news on his Twitter, on his X account, and we don't know anything, and so we can't even speculate on what it could possibly have been. There's no information known at this time, but we just send our thoughts and prayers with the entire family, his wrestling family as well, the WWE universe, everybody who called him a friend, a father, and and I will say this too. I mean, just to talk about the character that he portrayed, he had so many people just organically get behind him. He had the way of captivating you on the screen. I'm sure he had the same way of captivating you in the room. I never had the privilege to meet Bray Wyatt, but I never heard a bad word said about him from anybody. He seemed like a guy who lived and breathed the business, was incredibly creative, a visionary in some ways. And even if not everyone always understood the vision that he had, you knew that he was 100% creative and in his zone and in his element when creating that character on screen. I know, as you said, he's got a wife and kids, and that's where our minds should be. But this was definitely unexpected. Now, we were just talking about Terry Funk as we got this news. And again, we want to send our condolences to Terry Funk's family as well at the same time. A great Texan was Terry Funk. And this is a sad 24 hours if you're a pro wrestling fan, to lose a legend like Terry and somebody who we didn't even get to see his best yet. His best was yet to come for Bray Wyatt. Yeah. I don't know where to go on that one, Book.
Nah, man. That's always, like I say, what you do in between your birth date and your death date. Like you said, you're not going to hear any bad words about Bray. I sat and I talked with that kid many, many times, and he seemed, well-grounded, someone who knew exactly what he wanted, someone who had direction and purpose. And then we wake up, 36 years old. He's not here. This is one of those moments, there again, where I say, if you got a loved one, you might want to, hug them a little tighter, because none of us are promised tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things, God is going to call all of us one day, we don't know when that day is going to be. That's why I say enjoy every day on this earth that you possibly can, and try to smile every day. Hug the ones you love. That's the only thing you really can do. That's it.
Yeah. According to Fightful.com, who's reporting more on the story, says that Wyatt had been actively recovering from an illness that was described as career and life-threatening. WWE and Wyatt had been taking extra precautions before he returned to TV to make sure his long-term health was accounted for. Again, I had heard that, but this is all speculation at this point.
Yeah, I read that too, but I didn't know what that meant.
I didn't know what that meant either. This had been, stuff like that had been reported. But again, at this time, I probably shouldn't even read that. We should just respect the family and their privacy. And we're not going to hear it. We don't know what happened, and nor should we feel entitled to know what happened. That's between his family, his fiance, his kids, and we'll see where the story unfolds. But again, I know Booker at 36 years old. I mean, that's when I start thinking like, wow, I'm about to turn 31 in December, and you start looking at someone who's 36. I mean, that's my sister's age. You think that they're around forever. This is completely shocking. It's just shocking. And like I said, I'm rarely at a loss of how to get back on track, but this is one that I did not expect to be discussing right now. I'll remember his WrestleMania match with The Undertaker and his WrestleMania match with John Cena. I mean, those are things I'm thinking of from a fan's perspective. But this was just terrible. Just terrible, terrible to hear.
It's terrible news. It's sad news, and like you said, I don't even know how to process it. This is a sad show, guys.
Yeah.
This is I'm trying to make do with it, but this is a sad show. But one thing I think I know about Bray, he would want us to, carry on and push through. I think that's the mentality of most of the boys.
Show must go on.
Show must go on. Let's get through it. We got a couple more segments. You know what I mean? And we'll definitely miss Bray Wyatt. He will always be in our heart, and his family and all will always be in my prayers. He'll be well missed. Be well missed. Yeah.
As we continue on with the show, though, we do have a couple super chats that come in regarding the news.
What we got?
So we'll just read. These are from fans of Bray Wyatt. Here, Loso Dolo says, rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. Absolutely. We appreciate you, Loso. This is from Ross Ferguson. I'm sorry he passed away. I'm living with depression. Wrestling helps with that, but never thought Bray would go. I'm sorry. I'm crying right now. Yeah, I understand, Ross. I mean, wrestling's an escape for a lot of us. I'm sure for the wrestlers as well as the fans who watch it. And Bray was a great escape and a captivating character that is a once-in-a-generation type performer. And that's always been said of him since he kind of came on the scene. And it's still true to this day. And Joe Compton says, may the Fiend and Terry Funk rest in peace. Would you guys put the Fiend on your Mount Rushmore of all-time creative characters? He's on mine. A definitely captivating character. Up there with some of the best ever when you talk about.
Not too many characters, literally that lives up to the building of what Bray Wyatt tried to create. He definitely was like Brad say, generational. As far as his thinking went, as far as trying to take this game to a totally different place, a place that it had never seen before. So as far as characters go, yeah, you definitely got to put Bray Wyatt up there because he was that different.
And like all the great characters, able to evolve his character, even in his short run, going from kind of the swamp house, Manson family-esque kind of guy into the Firefly Funhouse and the Fiend, and then even rebranding into the White Rabbit, and you have Uncle Howdy and all those things. Yeah, super creative guy. I remember Booker during the pandemic when we were watching WrestleMania, because the world was watching WrestleMania. It was the only thing to watch. And there was the Firefly Funhouse match. And I remember you, I, and Renee Paquette were talking about it. And I don't think any of us were sure what we saw, but we knew it was creative as hell. And it was a spectacle.
Yeah.
I remember I'll always, when I think of Bray Wyatt, that's probably the first hit, that match with The Undertaker, and then the Firefly Funhouse is something that always going to come to mind. And I remember seeing him wrestle Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble and crushing it. And I believe he even had a match in Houston here with AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble, something like that. But Bray's strength was his character more than anything else. His creativity and his character. And so he's definitely up there in all time conversation. Callie Tono says, I'll ask my question next week. For now, I just want to say one love to all. Be thankful for every breath you take. Be kind, be generous, be caring, and please be loving to your fellow man. It takes a village. It surely does, Callie. Well said, man. Well said.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let me ask you about Terry. Did you have a lot of interaction with Terry Funk over the years? I know y'all were kind of in different places at different times, as far as promotions go.
You know what? I had more interactions with Dory.
With Dory?
Yeah. I had more interaction with Dory. He lived down in Florida. What part of Florida was that? Can't remember right off my hand, but I ran into Dory several times. Him and I, we always had conversation much more than Terry. Terry and I, we wasn't in the same place too often. I don't know why. I knew Terry, of course, but we wasn't like like buddies or anything like that. I don't have a whole lot of Terry Funk stories or anything like that. But he definitely was a guy that I grew up admiring. A guy that I knew had a whole lot as far as to do with Texas wrestling. He was a guy that you definitely perhaps didn't want to get in the ring with because you heard the stories about Terry Funk and how violent he really was and whatnot. And then you remember all of those those matches in Japan, those stories from Japan, like horror stories, like Freddy Krueger, something like that. You know what I mean? But he was definitely one of a kind dude, and highly well respected in this business. But we got to take another break. You're in the Hall of Fame. Stick around. We'll be back in a sec.
In order to kick some ass, you got to bring some. I wasn't born the chosen one. I became the chosen one. Through hard work, determination, and winning.
The chosen one, victorious.
You're gonna be a big star. You already are.
I'm stronger. And I'm faster than anyone they ever put me in the ring with. Being the chosen one isn't just a nickname, it's a gift. And professional wrestling is my gift. That is an absolute guaranteed. What's my name again?
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Just doing a little show here today, chopping it up, talking a little something. It's not like usual just because it's a sad day in this business. Of course, we lost Terry Funk, hardcore legend. Of just found out tragic news. We just lost Bray Wyatt. But like Terry would say, like Bray Wyatt would say, the show must go on. And we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it rolling. I don't know. What do you want to talk about today, man?
Well, you know what? I mean, let's to switch, the topics off. And again, we send our condolences to both the Funk family and the Rotunda family. You had NXT Heat Wave a couple days ago.
Yeah.
I thought it was a tremendous show. From top to bottom. And you know what, too? I saw a picture of Carmelo Hayes and Big E together. And I guess because they had Big E I don't think he was the first NXT champion, but I think he was the second NXT champion at one point. And they're standing face to face with each other. I didn't realize either Carmelo was that big or Big E was that short, because Carmelo's bigger than Big E, height wise.
I think it's Big E.
You think it's Big E's the problem?
He's not that tall,
but he's wide.
Yeah. Since the injury, he's gotten a little shorter.
That's terrible. Terrible. Terrible.
I'm just playing.
You couldn't help
I'm
yourself.
just
It's a joke. It's just jokes.
Just jokes. I'm just playing. All right. Okay. But no, I think Big E's not that tall. Carmelo, I think they're both around the 6 foot. It's about the 6 foot plateau, something like that.
But talk to me about the show. Did you? I mean, because I thought.
Oh man, you know what? It was a
Talk
great
about
show.
your boy. You know who you want to talk about. Talk about your boy who went out there and wrecked shop.
Ooh, Trick Williams.
Trick Williams.
Trick and Ilya Dragunov, man. They definitely brought the noise, man. They definitely went out and had a great match. Both guys complimented each other as far as Trick Williams being that pretty much street fighter, Ilya Dragunov being a hybrid that can pretty much do it all. One thing about Ilya Dragunov, he pretty much brings it out of every guy that he goes in the ring and performs with. I've had guys like that I worked with in the past that you can't, if you don't fight, you're gonna just be getting eaten alive. You know what I mean? So working with Ilya Dragunov for Trick Williams, it was the perfect matchup. They say styles make fights. Mm-hmm. This was the perfect style to create the ultimate fight between two young guys, trying to move up the ladder. And to see Trick Williams go out there not having a whole lot of matches, have that crowd in the palm of his hand to where they didn't just watch it, they felt it. It was awesome to sit there and watch, man. High praise goes out to Ilya Dragunov, as well as Trick Williams, but Trick could not have done it without an Ilya Dragunov. I give that guy a whole lot of credit. He's mature, he's well seasoned, he's well-rounded, precision tactician. He can do it all. So big ups to both of those guys for going out there. In my estimation, still in the show.
No, yeah, Heat Wave was great. And you know what? Those kind of matches and guys like Trick and Ilya are why I'm happy there is an NXT. To go out there, learn your craft, and right now at a high level on TV, live every week, but be able to figure out who you are as a performer. I know I see a lot of people are tuning in right now. We've been talking about Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt and their tragic passing, and the shocking news of Bray. But when you go back to NXT, Bray Wyatt was able to find that character first in NXT, right? Figure out who he was and who the Wyatt family was. So that way, when they came to the main roster, the package was already there. You know what I mean? They didn't have to figure it out week to week. The package was already there. And so to still have NXT as a breeding ground for people like Trick Williams and Ilya Dragunov. Trick, man, looked real good. I got to give our boy props, man. He looked real good, bro. Look. I know you're there, and they're all your guys. So it's hard for you to say sometimes. This guy did better than this guy. This girl. I think that Ilya and Trick, that was the match of the night, man.
No, I'm not afraid to say it. I think those guys stole the show. I thought they had the best match. Taking nothing away from the main event with Wesley and Mello. Those guys went out there and performed, but their styles, styles make fights. Both of those guys' styles are so similar to each other. It's almost like watching, two guys in the mirror,
Yeah.
Say almost around the same size. It's like, that tag team thing, like my brother and I, what made us different was my brother was the power guy. I was pretty much the speed guy. And you could tell the difference. And with that match with Mello and Lee, both of those guys look so similar alike, but they did something that no one has ever did. Two African-American young men out there main eventing was something very, very special. And for me to be able to sit there and watch it, as well as be very instrumental in both of those guys, careers, it was so freaking awesome. That kid Wesley, he's special. Carmelo, he's special. Wesley actually said a couple of things to me after the match, man. I just want to tell that young man I appreciate him, just as much as he appreciates me. I want to thank him for everything that he's going out there and doing in the middle of that square circle, proving that he belongs. Mello, proving that he belonged. Awesome to see.
Yeah, man. Like I said, NXT Heat Wave, top to bottom, I really enjoyed last night. What'd you think of Ivy Nile? Our girl Ivy Nile, who came down reality wrestling. Ivy Nile and Ava.
Man, Ava brought it.
Ava brought it, man.
Ava brought it, man. I got to give her some props. My first time, pretty much said it was short. It was short. Kept it short. It's sweet. But I think both of the ladies went out there and did very, very well in that match. I don't really think it was a bad match on the card. Even the intergender match, with Dom and Drag and Rhea and Valkyria. That was an awesome match. So for me, man, everything from top to bottom was a hit, as well as they drew 720K views for that show.
Nice.
Up from the last week. They're pretty much getting close to competing with Dynamite. I mean, Dynamite drew 820. So we on par,
Close, man.
we on par.
With striking distance.
They're in striking distance. That's what I'm looking at. I'm talking about like a submarine missile man looking to take somebody out. But no, man, it was it was an awesome show. It was really, really awesome show.
Yeah, I enjoyed it top to bottom. Now, speaking about AEW, they're having their biggest show in the company's history coming up this weekend from Wembley Stadium. Depending on who you ask, it's definitely in the top 5 biggest wrestling shows in history by attendance standpoint. Which is a massive thing for a company that young to have that level of success early on. It's pretty incredible.
Nah, man, it really is. And if the rumors are true, Edge, AEW, man, can you? It's almost like WCW all over again, man. With guys, looking to get what the big money. Guys looking to get the big payoff. That's what it's all about, baby.
Gotta get the paper, baby.
Championships, paper, baby. That's what it's all about. So I don't know if the rumor. I was reading some more about the thing with Edge, maybe heading over to AEW because contract came up. The re-signing didn't go well because Edge wanted a bag, and he's heard about.
I think he's dispelled that rumor. He came out and said that's not the case.
Well, I don't know. I just read that a couple of minutes ago.
Well, here, let me find it.
Yeah, the bag. We've heard about the bag before, right?
Yes, from a certain individual.
And not just a bag. It was a what?
A big bag.
A big bag. So that's what I'm talking about, man. And did I say that on the last show? I said I wouldn't expect that Edge would be making a move over to AEW, but if he was to make a move over to AEW, it would be why?
Big bag.
Big bag. You know what I mean? And the thing is, hey, if a big bag is somewhere to go pick up, what you do? You go pick it up.
You go pick it up.
And you do it quick. You do it very, very quickly, if I may add. So, I don't know, man. I don't know if the rumors are true or anything like that. But like you say, the Wembley show is huge. They've sold over 80,000 tickets.
It's crazy.
That right there in itself is insane, just to have a crowd like that to be able to perform in front of. Trust me, I know it's unbelievable. So the talent on the roster, those guys definitely going to have a thrill that perhaps that they've never had before. So it's going to be awesome. Definitely going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to watch it just to feel that energy. And those UK crowds are already on one, right? Like they're already there.
Oh yeah, they're going to be drinking.
Woo, buddy.
I've been drinking. It's going to be a bunch of that up in Wembley. But hey man, I don't know if I'll be watching or anything because I'm gonna be on the beach.
You're going to the beach? Well, good.
Relaxing, kicking back, chilling, and cooling just like a snowman. We got to take a break, guys. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Our last segment going to be wrapping up here in a bit. Any super chatters, Brad? Super chatters.
Yeah, I do believe we have super chatters coming in right here. This is from Virgil Dawkins, who says, "Hey, Book, I remember hearing all the cool stories about you playing video games backstage during Raw and SmackDown. Are you still a gamer? If so, what game?"
Yeah, man, I'm still a gamer, man. Right now, I'm in the Ghost of Tsushima, playing a little 2K basketball with my son as of late. Those are my two go-tos right now. Ghost of Tsushima is a game, when you're in it, you just in it, and it could last forever. But that's what I'm off into right now.
Yeah, the what I heard though, and you can confirm this. Did you back in the day request when you were WCW champion to have a TV that came with you on the road?
Yeah.
Video games.
When I was when I won the world title, they gave me an option to get my own locker room, and I was like, I didn't want my own locker room. I just wanted a 50-inch TV to put on the truck, take to all the shows, so I can play Madden on a regular. I love Madden, man, but the one thing about Madden today, man, the controller, man, it's got so many options. It's no way you can remember all these options. You know what I mean? As well as the hit stick, all of that. You got to hit, it's like exactly the precise time, stuff like that. It gets so technical now. It takes the fun. It really takes the fun out of the video game because you got to be a real coach to know what the hell you're doing. What?
No, you're right. You're right. I don't really play too many video games, but I like all the sports games. Like anything 2K, I'll pretty much play.
Yeah.
I enjoy all those. But Madden I don't love, but I like MLB The Show. I like NBA 2K. Those are like my main thing.
We'll bring out WWE 2K every
WWE
time.
2K.
I like playing my own character, you know what I mean? But other than that, yeah.
You play yourself?
Heck yeah.
Well, I mean, if I was you, I'd play as me as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense not to. Virgil Dawkins says, "Can you talk about Gable Stevenson? I feel like for the first time we saw him on an NXT was awesome, but at SummerSlam, his momentum stopped. They need to have him with a ton of squash matches to get him hot again." Well, I don't know what he's doing right now. Is he full time?
No, the question was, can I talk about Gable Stevenson?
Yeah.
No. Now the verdict's still out on Gable Stevenson, as far as I'm concerned. Gable Stevenson got a lot of decisions to make. Whether he's gonna, do Olympics, whether he's gonna go back to college for another year or whatever. I'm not sure if he's gonna go back to college or do the Olympics, one of the two. Or, do the WWE thing. You can't do all three of them. You can't do all three of them. And I know this kid, he's in a position to where he has options, because I'm gonna tell you right now, when you win the gold medal in the Olympics one time, man, that sets you up for life pretty much. But to win the gold medal twice, good God, man, he'll never have to work another day in his life. So yeah. I get it. I totally understand what this young man is. And WWE is something that he probably has a passion and a love and a joy for, but making life decisions is very, very hard. I get it.
But yeah, we'll see if he sticks around. He's had one match. I remember he was like introduced to the crowd back in 2021, maybe.
Well, he just got booed out the building when he wrestled Baron Corbin.
Which is saying something if you're wrestling Baron Corbin.
So that's why I said, what can I say about Gable Stevenson? Nothing.
well, those are our super chats, and if you want to send something in before the end of the show, and even if you want to highlight perhaps your favorite Bray Wyatt or Terry Funk memory, obviously that news shocked us here at the beginning of the show, and we're still obviously speechless regarding that and the loss of a wrestling icon of Terry Funk, and of course Bray Wyatt unexpectedly. So we definitely want to hear from you all. Book, do you remember? And I don't mean to get too personal or anything, but do you remember like when you met Bray for the first? Was he around in WCW? Because I know IRS was there for a minute when you were there.
Yeah. I don't know. I never met Bo Dallas. So I never met Bray. When they were kids, I didn't meet Bray until he was a grown man and in the company. Start wrestling. No, I had no knowledge of Bray as a kid or anything like that or coming up.
So you first met him in WWE.
Yeah.
Obviously he's, again, we talked about it earlier when we talk about creativity, one of the most creative people in the history of the company. And then Terry Funk is one of the most crazy people in the history of wrestling, right?
Yeah.
And when I think of Terry Funk, and probably a lot of people my age, when they think of Terry, they think of Beyond the Mat. A lot of us do, because that is where I got to know who Terry Funk was and his background. Like, I didn't know about the Japanese death matches and the branding match and the empty arena match with Ric Flair and, all those crazy stories that Terry Funk had in his career. If no one's ever seen the Falls Count Anywhere match with Terry and Rick, that's one for the ages, man. That is one for the ages to go watch. Incredible match. And but when I saw him in Beyond the Mat, like, you see this guy at the time, I thought he was old, and he was in his 50s and he's still wrestling. And this was actually maybe the peak of his celebrity, in his mid 50s.
Definitely. Yeah.
WCW, coming off of his WWE run or going into his WWE run. And he I just remember him getting out of the bed in tidy whities were on, right? And he's just waking up and his wife's getting breakfast ready or what have you. And he's trying to get his wits about him. And I just thought, oh, so wrestlers are like normal people. Like, I see my dad doing that every morning.
Yeah.
And then they would flash from him getting out of bed to taking a bump on like a barbed wire explosive, thinking like, this guy is a unique individual.
No, he definitely took wrestling to another level. Made fans, believe it from a totally different perspective as well. One thing about it, he was willing to go out there and put his body on the line on a weekly, nightly basis, going out there doing that stuff. Pretty much, the creator of a lot of that, hardcore wrestling. And, I always talk about, guys like Terry Funk. It's only a few and far between, guys come along like Terry. I mean, right now you got, the Nick Gages, of the wrestling world. And yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, it wouldn't be a Nick Gage if it wasn't for Terry Funk. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't be a Cactus Jack, Mick Foley if it wasn't for, Terry Funk. You know what I mean? So he definitely gave that young wrestler who perhaps didn't believe that he could do this, that they could. You know what I mean? They just have to find their own lane and, be dedicated to it and go out there and, just, put in 100%. And that's what I think Terry brought to the table more than anything. 100% every time, man. Guys like Terry Funk, you never think they're going to die. You just never believe it, that they're going to pass away. That's why the news, hearing Terry passed away, the news hearing, Bray Wyatt passed away. Guys like that seem like they're immortal and they're gonna live forever. You know what I mean? But that's just a eye opener. You know what I mean? To all of us that we are mortal. None of us live forever, and none of us live forever. Make the best of the time. Yeah.
Unfortunately, none of us do. And we have a chat here from Kappa Owens. Man, Book and Brad, I'm late to the stream, but I didn't expect this. Neither did we. Damn, I didn't know Bray, but this hurts. Wyatt family fiend was so fun to watch. I'm crushed. Yeah, I mean, this was definitely unexpected for all of us, and we didn't see this coming. I saw someone in the chat saying I hadn't felt like this since Eddie passed, and I know what he means, because it was such a shock for me as a fan seeing that news of a guy who's so big and so larger than life going too soon. And this one, yeah, this is this is a very, very shocking situation. And again, we just send all the prayers out, man. And I forgot to say earlier, to his brother as well, Bo Dallas. Our condolences as well to the whole family. Just gobsmacked. Just
yeah,
totally off guard. Totally off guard, man.
Yep. But it's just one of these things, man. It never, it never feels any different. It always feels the same way every time. It always seems to just like a gut punch to the stomach. Just you don't want to drop to your knees. If you do drop to your knees, just say a prayer. Say a prayer for Bray Wyatt. Say a prayer for Terry Funk, the hardcore legend. Those guys in my eyes, and as far as I'm concerned, they are immortal and they will live forever through the fans. The fans is one thing that always keep us alive. So say a prayer for Bray Wyatt. Say a prayer for hardcore legend Terry Funk tonight before you go to bed. But we got to get out of here, guys. I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame today, getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams. Bradley, always the heavy lifting, man. Appreciate you. And till next time, peace. We out.